Hello, welcome to Royally Speaking. I'm NY Tasha.
I'm Demi J, and we have one topic for you today because some inmates just escaped. So we gotta.
Where was that? New Orleans, right?
Yeah, it was in New
New Orleans
Orleans.
prison. What day was it? Yesterday, day before yesterday?
It was about 4 days ago, but it didn't get to the main news till a couple days ago for some reason because they were trying to. There's a whole story to it.
And then there's new stuff too going on too. But and aren't some of them still like on the
Yeah,
loose?
we're gonna talk about it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So there are a couple weird things about that too. I don't really want to get into all of it.
Do I care about this story? Like a good one now, Will. Give us something to listen to.
Urgent manhunt is still underway in the South after several inmates escaped from a Louisiana jail. The jailbreak shows the inmates running out of the jail and jumping down off a ledge. You see it right there. 7 of the 10 fugitives have been able to stay ahead of that manhunt for 4 days. Now, the Louisiana governor says there is no excuse for the failure at the jail that allowed violent criminals on the streets. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
A high-stakes manhunt underway for 7 inmates considered armed and dangerous, caught on this surveillance video breaking out of a New Orleans jail.
These are violent criminals, and they escaped.
Authorities say a total of 10 inmates busted out of the Orleans Parish facility in the early hours of Friday, taking advantage of defective locks on multiple jail cells. Stunning photos showing the getaway path, a hole behind the toilet with this taunting message, "Too easy, LOL."
The failure in the jail system should never have happened.
The inmates were on the run for at least 7 hours before jail employees realized they were gone. Officials taking even longer to notify the public. One of the escaped inmates captured right here in the French Quarter, the busiest and most important tourist hub here in New Orleans. It's only about 2 miles from that jail. Only 3 of the 10 fugitives have been recaptured. An internal investigation underway at the jail after the sheriff said her own employees may have helped in the stunning jailbreak.
We think this was intentional. There is much more than meets the eye.
And now in the 4th day of this investigation with 7 fugitive inmates on the run right now, the governor blasting the failures at this jail for allowing those violent criminals on the streets. In the meantime, he says he wants a full state audit of the facility. Authorities also are trying to incentivize more public help. They're boosting the bounty on each of those inmates' heads to $20,000 each. Stephanie.
Faith Abube for us in New Orleans. Thanks so much.
That's crazy.
Some baby know the screen started like bothering my eyes, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sunglasses. It wasn't you. It was like I don't know what it is. For some reason, the screen is bothering my eyes out of nowhere. But it could just be I had a long day. I've been staring at screens all day, so it's just me. But yeah, so are the people with the ones with the lines across them? Those are the ones that are.
Those are the ones that captured. So there's 4 as of earlier today that got captured.
So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then didn't they catch the maintenance worker who helped them?
Yeah, the maintenance worker, his name was...
Does it even matter?
They kept saying his name, though. It was Sterling Williams. He was a maintenance worker. Yeah.
And he was the one who turned the water off so they could go through the hole behind the...
So, yeah, he turned the water off in the toilet to clear the way for the inmates to escape. So, yeah, pretty much. I don't know how that works, but somehow that worked.
Well, he probably had access to the water source.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm getting out.
Well, they went through a hole behind the toilet.
Oh, yeah. Why was there a hole behind there?
I mean, you had to install it some way.
Oh,
there's pipes you had to install it. But
it was like a whole open wall, though.
It probably was manipulated.
Oh, they ripped the toilet off the hinges. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, but if he would have left the water on, it would have flooded the room and it would have alerted people that something was wrong.
Yeah.
So him turning off the water kind of stop them from noticing soon, fast. But all the men running across the highway was crazy. Like, nobody called that in. Like, yo, it's a bunch of men running across the highway. Something don't seem right about
I'm
it.
assuming they all went separate ways because they wasn't all together. So it was like they must have had this planned out for a minute.
That's what I was gonna. I seen a few of them run across the highway in one of the videos.
Yeah,
Though.
right.
But you're right though. You had because where did you run to? Unless you like had somebody waiting for you.
And then to not get captured after 4 days, you would go somewhere local. You
Yeah.
gone.
That means somebody gonna get charged with harboring.
Or they had some help on the outside.
They had to have some help on the outside.
I mean,
Like
other
unless
than
they
the
really
prison,
found somewhere to hide. Would you
yeah.
say?
I mean, other than the guard or the maintenance worker or whatever, they had to have some outside help with getting away.
Yeah, and I'm like, did they all have the same help getting away, or was it like, did everybody call their own getaway car? Like,
I'm assuming because 4 of them captured. I'm assuming the rest of them are all in different places. They all getting because this one got captured. What's his name? One of them got captured after the other 3 got captured, so he was somewhere different than the other 3 was.
people were saying, could you imagine, like talking about the maintenance man helping people escape just so you could go to jail? Like you basically just traded places.
I wonder what motivated him to do that.
That is crazy. He said that they threatened to shank him. That's what he said. At first he wasn't cooperating. And I guess after a while he said that he was threatened and they said he better do it. Otherwise they would shank him. But I don't know. Like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't he just not go away? He was a worker there. It wasn't like he was an inmate. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, where were did they have a way to catch him somewhere? Like, did they plan to catch him outside? Like, suppose somebody else helped him escape. Was they going to go to his house? Like, what was going to happen?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What?
And then I'm just like, could he not have just told?
That's
but you gotta take everything into consideration.
How did he get to the point where he was helping them do that?
Yeah, like I mean, because I played all these scenarios in my mind. I'm like, what if he just ignored them and just like kept mopping the floor? Whatever he did, I don't know what he did. They said he was a maintenance worker, so he wasn't mopping the floor. He probably had access to plumbing somehow. Right. So could he have just not said nothing at all? Which even still, you can get in trouble for that too. So you got to be careful with that. Could he have just said nothing else? Then could he have just told, like, yo, these dudes trying to escape, y'all better catch them. Then if he did that, would he have had to move because he would have been a target at this point?
Yeah, but that would be better than ended up in prison. But definitely. I guess so.
Yeah, and I guess you do gotta take it. I mean, depending on who you are, what is being a target? Because he might not have think he might not have any reason to believe he would have ever got caught. So could he have been thinking it's better that you
can't logically you wouldn't think that if you help inmates escape. Like there's some way that they're gonna find out that they escape. They're not just gonna let that go.
Well, I mean,
and it was 3 convicted murderers that escaped, by the way, too.
That's crazy. But they had to catch them in order to get the story that he helped.
There's no jail that doesn't notice that the inmates go missing at some point. And there's always gonna be an investigation to how they go missing.
What if they never caught them?
Either way, they're missing from the jail.
How would they know that the maintenance guy helped? Because that's what I'm
saying. Before you get to the maintenance guy, you have inmates. You know that they escaped. Once you have inmates that escape, there's an investigation into the situation, the cameras and everything. So that would have had to been a thought that played out, I think, in a logical person's mind at some point during the situation that there's an investigation into that situation, regardless of anything that happened.
I thought maybe he thought there was a chance he wouldn't get caught.
And that would be the dumbest thing to ever think. I don't know how he could have thought that. Or
maybe he thought he could just do some stuff, and people would have thought it was just regular routine work. Without somebody telling that you helped, how do they know?
They don't know, but usually you gotta expect that they might find out if there's something that triggers an investigation automatically like that.
So you do have to take that into consideration, and then you gotta think: is them finding out more? Is it more risky than me being a target for those guys who are trying to escape?
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, that would be the only thing. Not that he think he couldn't have got caught, because he had to know that there's a 2 sides to this that could happen.
I'm think everybody who does something dumb thinks there's a chance they won't get caught.
Yeah, there's a chance, but I think you
get
can
caught.
say he thinks there's a chance he won't get caught. You can't say he think he's not going to get caught though. Those are two different things.
I believe some people think they can't get caught.
Right, yeah. So if he thought he couldn't get caught, he's dumb. I don't know.
Like I mean, it doesn't make it not dumb, of course.
Right.
But yeah. But I believe he could have thought he wasn't going to get caught. Like it was like, because if you do it and you like, I know I'm gonna get caught, but that's one thing. But I believe there's a strong chance he didn't think he was gonna get caught. He probably thought he was just gonna do his regular work day and just do something weird maintenance stuff. Nobody was gonna know that was weird.
And then 10 inmates are gone and 3 of them are murderers.
No, I think when they were gone, he was gonna go, they're gone? I don't believe it, and act shocked.
Yeah, I mean, he could have thought that, but logically, you got to know that there's an investigation into that type of situation,
right?
Especially on that type of scale. This is not something that commonly happens.
It definitely is something that commonly happens, but it's just like, I don't know how old the guy was, because you also need to have some type of sense too. So you're right. I don't know what the guy had been through in his life or whatever. I don't know. I mean, he's a maintenance worker. I wonder if he had any type of record, like if he's ever like been in any trouble before or anything like that.
Right, because he wasn't like a guard or anything. He was a maintenance worker, but
yeah, I can't wait to hear what he has to say, like fully, like I can't wait to hear the whole story.
And 3 other jail employees also got suspended in this investigation too.
I heard that too. Now, were the other jail employees just dropping the ball, or were they part of it?
That's what I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure it's at least that they dropped the ball.
And that's another thing, like, because you might just be like, oh, I wasn't doing my job well, but it doesn't mean like I was a part of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We're just two different things.
Right,
like,
yeah. But actually, when you get a job like that, you got to sign all kind of contracts into that type of stuff, though, because they will make it your fault if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
Right. But it takes me back to the guy thinking he wouldn't have got caught. Maybe he thought he just was doing a bad job, not that he was trying to help.
On that scale of what he did, if it was just that he just did a little thing, then yeah, but he did a lot. So I don't know.
I mean, he turned off the water.
He turned off the water and he moved the stuff. So he did a few.
He moved the stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
He didn't just turn off the water.
I didn't know he moved the stuff. All I knew was that he turned off the water.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he moved anything. I didn't hear that part. Did she say it in that clip just now, or was that just?
I think she might have. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I got to watch it again.
Yeah, that part I didn't hear, so I didn't even know that even happened. Like when I was like listening to what they said, they were like, well, they told him to turn off the water so they could get out. Well, there should be a clip that's only showing. This should be like a video that's only showing the part where the maintenance worker got arrested, because that's the newest update. Well, actually,
that's not the newest one. Yeah, right. That was the earlier one.
Newest update, because didn't you say 2 more people got caught today? There were 6 of them loose before.
I only know 1 of them got caught today. There was 3 at first, and the update from today was a 4.
Oh, so now there's 4.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's captured. So most of them still on the run.
The development here, a local jail maintenance worker now under arrest, accused of helping 10 inmates carry out a brazen escape last week. The video is wild. This news coming after police captured a 4th man yesterday. 6 other inmates, though, still remain on the run at this hour. According to investigators, they broke out by cutting a hole out through a cell wall, removing the rebar, leaving a written message behind saying it was, quote, too easy. NBC News correspondent Ryan Chandler joining me now from New Orleans. Ryan, thanks for being with us. Obviously, there were rumblings of assistance along the way here. Let's start with that arrest from the jail employee. What more do we know about that?
Yes, Sam, we've been reporting for days that the sheriff's office believed this to be an inside job, saying that this would simply be impossible unless they had help. Now we're seeing the first arrest of a jail employee, the attorney general releasing a picture of 33-year-old Sterling Williams. He was a maintenance worker at the Orleans Parish Jail, and they allege that he assisted these inmates by turning off the water in the cell where they dug that hole. that was dug behind the toilet, so they needed the water shut off for the plumbing. And the Attorney General alleges that that worker was happy to comply with that request. Instead of reporting them to authorities, he's now facing 11 criminal charges, one for each inmate that you see running out the door there, and another for malfeasance in the office.
So I guess you saw a different news report that said that he was being threatened with
there was a part where he mentioned, he said that he did it because they threatened him. I don't know if that was going to come up at the end of that clip or not, but
no, they started talking about the state and stuff and
yeah. So it's like 10 of them is crazy. Like usually you get like 1 or 2 escapees, but like 10 of them, like were they just like all sitting in one cell? Like how was no red flag raised for any of this? Like 10 people in one cell would have looked crazy to me. Or did people just keep going in that one cell? Like what time of day did this happen?
It looked like it was daytime when that happened.
It looked like it was at night on that porch on that camera though, but I could be wrong. Like it was like really early in the morning. Like it looked a little bit dark outside.
It was dark when they were running on the road. The whole outside of it looked light. I don't know if they just did the video of the hole after though.
So I wonder how long they had been digging the hole.
Yeah, that had to been going on for maybe a long time, a very long time.
And I wondered if there was a way they could only shut off water to that cell, or if they had, or if other people didn't have water either and started complaining, because this could be how other people got involved in the malfeasance. I'm just gonna say, like maybe other people should have been doing stuff about it or whatever, but they might have just been ignoring it. Like, what if somebody else was like, "Yo, the water's not on," and the CEO's like, "So what?" You know, and that gets other people involved too, who should have been doing their job. Yeah. Because the question I'm asking is, did he only turn off? Was there a way to only turn off the water to that cell?
The way that they're describing it, it seems like he only turned off water to that cell. That's the way that they're presenting it.
Yeah, and then if that was possible, then yeah. But what if that turn off that water affected other cells or something else, and then nobody just said anything? Because if he had to turn off the water remotely, like from another place. So, a lot of this stuff is just like question after question after question. I, as usual, have so many questions.
Yeah, I don't work in maintenance, so I don't know how that works. But usually they don't all go off at once. I know that.
I know. Okay, so I don't work in maintenance, but I know, how like buildings work with a lot of different, water systems. Or whatever, or even just with a lot of different toilets. Whatever. I know, like, you can turn off the water to one toilet, but you have to go to that toilet. You can turn off the water from one sink, but you have to go to that sink. If you turn it on remotely, it's turning off the source.
They never said he did it remotely, though.
Again, this is why I have questions.
Right, yeah.
That's the question. Like, did he go into the cell? Like,
okay. Then if he didn't go into the cell, I'm going to say I'm going to go back to there was no real threat to his life then, if that's the case. So I would assume that he went to the cell. Well, not on the scale that would make him do something like that.
Right. So it's just like, and if he did go into the cell, why did nobody find that fishy? You know what I mean? Like, did we put a work order in for that cell? Why are you in there?
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was a maintenance worker, so I could see why he would probably be in the cell trying to.
But if he was a maintenance worker, wouldn't somebody have had to put in a request for him to do maintenance in there? Like, wouldn't there have to be a maintenance report?
Any of the inmates could put in a request and somebody just got to approve it.
So then whoever approved it would also be in trouble for not checking.
Right. That's why that's probably where they get into the jail employees also being in trouble.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, these are the ways we get to other people.
Oh yeah, right.
Having dropped the ball on this. Because like all of the different things that would have had to happen would have involved other people either just ignoring it, not saying nothing, not caring, or just allowing it.
Yeah.
Or being a part of it.
Yeah, so many questions.
And it's just like, I don't know any CEOs who really want inmates to escape. I can see why a maintenance worker wouldn't care. Because like, it's not really a maintenance worker's job to like worry about them like that. But at the same time, like you said, when you get a job in a security in a location like that, you probably do have to like pass all type of security tests and stuff like that, and sign all type of documents about what you need to do to help keep the place secure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep going on and on about it. I don't know what to think. It seems dangerous. Then you say some of them are murderers.
Yes, 3 of them were convicted murderers.
Did they get caught?
Let me see. Hold on, let me put the picture back up and see if I could tell. So Corey Boyd, Lytton Van Buren, and Jermaine Donald. So Jermaine Donald's a murderer. Corey Boyd, and who did I say?
Linton something.
So that would be this dude right here. So these 3.
Can you tell if those are the ones who got captured?
Oh, I know this dude on the far left on the bottom was one of them. They look different in this picture for some reason, though.
So he's not captured.
Yeah. So one of the murderers is for sure not captured yet.
Well, let's hope they're not out there murdering people for the sake of staying escaped. Let's hope that everybody on their path.
No, yeah, I didn't even think about that. That would be crazy.
Is safe, yeah, because this is what happens when you get escapees into the community. It presents a danger to the people in the community. I don't know if I ever told you this. When I was really, really young, I used to live down the street from Sing Sing.
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while, we would hear like the escape bells go off, and it would be really scary because it's like, what is happening right now? Like everybody would be like really scared. Like, why are those bells ringing? And what is happening? I remember it happening once, but I feel like somebody told me it happened twice when we lived there. But I remember it happening once. I think they resolved it immediately, whatever it was, or maybe it was a drill or something. I don't know. But that sound going off is crazy, and it's like if you live. I mean, I was probably less than a mile away. Maybe more. I don't know. I was too young to understand how big a mile was, but it was so scary that it felt close. But it was like, when you hear it, I mean, I was close enough to hear the bells. But it's scary. So I'm just thinking, like, the people who live in that area, probably hearing that sound is, like, scary to them.
Yeah, I would imagine, too.
And then seeing on the news how many people it was. I mean, like, usually you hear the noises one, like I said, it's one person, maybe 2. But 10 people escaping? Oh my God. Like, what is the plan?
What is the plan? Yeah, I don't know. What is the point of doing that? Like,
yeah, I don't know how long they was planning. And they're gonna write this was easy. That is crazy. That makes it even crazy.
I guess the plan was to escape. They're gonna have to go back though. It ain't like they ain't gonna be continuously looked for.
I mean, you said they're gonna have to go back?
Yeah. I mean, once they get captured, that's what happens. They go back, right?
Everybody ain't captured though.
They don't stop the hunt though, ever.
Yeah,
they're
but
always gonna be looking for those
captured,
people. They put in the longer they out, they keep putting a bigger bounty on their heads.
Well, yeah, but as long as you're out, you're still a danger to the community.
Yes, of course. I'm saying I agree with that. I'm saying while they're out, they also are always being looked for. Like it's not like they're free now that they're out.
Right? No, they're definitely not free. Yeah, they gonna do. I mean, I'm pretty sure they watched movies before. They probably gonna try to mimic something they seen in the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna go out there, disguise themselves, try to look different, and if they got help, forget about it. What they probably don't have is money though, and you can't get too far with no money. Which again makes you dangerous because
yeah, I mean they probably could rob or whatever for money.
Right. Another version of being dangerous.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, which is another way to get caught too, because the more things you do to make yourself noticeable, the faster you're gonna get caught. But still.
Right, yeah.
I was just thinking about the people who have to worry about their families who live in that area. Or even the surrounding areas, because we don't know how far they got. So, that was just me kind of being a little bit concerned for people who may be in danger.
So I don't know if you can see all 3 of these men that are murderers, they all still not captured.
All three of them. That's crazy.
That's
Wow.
Corey Boyd, Jermaine Donald, and Linton Van Buren. They all not captured.
And what's the bounty now?
10,000, I think. It might be up to 20,000 now.
What a reward. 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
You think whoever's helping them gonna turn them in?
I don't know what they doing at this point. Like you said, they could just be threatening people at this point.
And then it's
I think
20,000.
whoever helped them already got them to the point to where they need them and is gone.
Mm-hmm. It is 20,000 for each person. Like, what if you know where each one of them is?
Then yeah, I would. I mean, you might as well sell at that point. Get to 60,000.
Yeah, you get like 100,000 if it's 5 left.
Oh yeah.
They that's probably a quick little come up.
Yeah, I guess there's not enough people. There's still not enough people willing to do it.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Trust me, it's like I don't know. Some people, man. I mean, people. It is. I see how people can be scared. Yeah. First of all, scared to come in contact with them, but then some people are just scared to like become the enemy of them because, like you said, they already convicted murderers. Who knows what type of reputation they got in the streets? Who knows who they know? You know what I mean? And that guy, you never know what type of threats people make. You know, sometimes, and this could be me watching too much movies or too many documentaries, but people sometimes threaten your family, or not. You know, not just threatening you. They threaten like other people. So it's just like, yeah, you'll be safe, but ain't nobody else safe around you. Ain't nobody you love safe. So I mean, like I said, I might just be watching too much stuff on TV, but. Yeah, I be taking a lot of stuff into consideration.
Yeah.
And I watch some true crime stuff, and some of that true crime stuff is a bit much. Especially when it comes to crazy people. These people might not be that crazy. I don't know what they murdered for. They could just be.
They look crazy and had a crazy plan. I don't know. That's enough for me.
Yeah, they said their plan was easy.
That's still crazy to try to escape and go through with it.
If you're a convicted murderer, you probably don't have nothing to care about. You probably don't have much to lose.
Exactly. So dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous. So it's just like, all right, I'm gonna try to escape. But what you going to give me life? I already got life. Like,
right?
What more could you do?
Yeah. So what would be stopping them from harming anybody else?
Oh gosh, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's all right. Now I'm scared. Oh gosh, everywhere.
We not in New Orleans though. But yeah,
I know, but everywhere is everywhere. They could get anywhere they want if they got money. Oh, know what? They can't fly.
I doubt they have money.
Yeah, they can't fly anyway because then they gotta use passports. I mean, well, whatever.
Where are they getting money from though?
They're robbing people, like you said.
They ain't got a lot of money then if that's the case, probably. I don't know, because they're not robbing with weapons, likely.
Yeah. You're right. They must be in a bando somewhere. They somewhere hiding in a closet in the bando.
They probably did like the one dude. They probably changed their face identity and everything.
Yeah, that's what that could have been it. Yeah, change their face.
The dude with the face tattoos can't change that. No, I don't know how they didn't catch him.
Unless one of them somehow has some money on the outside, you can't even get ID cards for all these people. Like, what are you really doing?
Right. Yeah, you can't live no normal life at all.
Yeah, I can't. But you know what? I need the few people who got caught to start talking. Tell me what your plan was so we can know. So you can get everybody else.
a few days of freedom, probably.
There's just like
freedom, probably. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Because if you was doing life, this is the only time you about to be free.
Y'all gonna make me watch Con Air. I used to love that movie.
Yeah, me too.
I had a movie that relates to everything. I got a movie I love that relates to everything. To at least every single time. All right. Well, I mean, I guess there's not much more to talk about. We just have to wait for updates.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Why we go back to the 3 captured?
Oh, because I was trying to see the face with the names, but it's captured.
All right. Well, we got a good little study of their face and their names.
Yeah, Gary down here was the 4th one at the bottom.
Anybody in New Orleans, y'all getting a good look? Get a good look. All right. Oh gosh, this is just so eerie. All right, I guess we could wrap this one up too.
All right. Well,
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching. Let us know what you think.
thank you for watching Worldly Speaking.